Hello, and welcome back to Clay's 50 Film Challenge! My name is Clay Johnson, and today I am reviewing Walk, Don't Run, film number 26 on my challenge. This film is the last one that was suggested by Diane, so thanks again, Diane, for all of the suggestions. This film is from 1966. It is a comedy film from that period, and as I mentioned in the last review, this was Cary Grant's final film before he retired from acting. And so the film basically, apparently it was a remake of a 1943 film, The More the Merrier, which I have not seen. But this one takes place in Japan during the Olympic Games. And it basically follows, while the story is not about him, Cary Grant's character, Rutland, is definitely kind of the center of the action. I will say I found this one interesting because, at least in most Cary Grant films I've seen, he is a romantic lead. But in this one, he actually ends up playing kind of a matchmaker for the other two leads in the film. Samantha Eggar playing Christine Easton, and Jim Hutton playing Steve Davis. So, like I said, this is in Japan around the Olympic Games. Basically what happens is that Cary Grant's character Rutland comes into town. He apparently had business in Tokyo. From what I can understand, it really didn't have anything to do with the Olympic Games. It just happened to be taking place at the same time as the Olympic Games. And he had reservations, but he came in 2 days early and basically needs a place to stay until his hotel room opens up, and finds a notice for an apartment to share, which is owned by Samantha Eggar's character, Christine Easton. That relationship kind of goes back and forth. He kind of, charmingly, strong arms her into convincing her to let him stay there, because when she realizes that he's a man, she's like, no, you can't stay here. And he kind of, double speaks his way into basically just, starts putting up shop while they're, discussing whether or not he should stay. And so it's like, okay, not really anything we can do about it at that point. But there is some enjoyable, back and forth. At points, this kind of becomes just a straight up screwball comedy. And then, those are the parts of the film that I enjoy. And then other times it just seems very generic and ineffectual. But like I said, as it goes on, it gets more and more kind of ridiculous. The next day, he meets Steve Davis, Jim Hutton's character, who is an Olympic athlete, and there's actually a running joke, pardon the pun, that he basically never tells them what event he's competing in, blah, 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 blah. So he ends up actually staying with the two of them, and basically the story from there on is kind of their romantic chemistry and kind of, will they, won't they get together, and so on. Like I said, as the film goes on, it gets more and more ridiculous, to the point that at points it actually reminded me of some of my favorite some of my favorite screwball comedies and farces and stuff like that. I mean, I will say there was a lot to enjoy about it, but then there was a lot that just seemed very derivative. I mean, you have to be careful using that term with a 60s film because, you wonder, what it was actually before, and, what it was after. But it felt a lot like, even films I have seen that came previous to this, and even films I've seen that came after this felt more, were using similar blueprints, but felt more original than this one did. But like I said, there were a lot of things that I enjoyed about it. And so I am going to give this one, I'm going to give this one a 2. I'll say a high 2, but it's still a 2. It didn't blow me away, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed watching it. It actually made me feel like watching... It put me in the mood to watch some of my other favorite films. So, I mean, take that for... take that for what you will. But yes, I will give this a 2. I will give it... I will give it 2... Olympic insignias, because I can't think of anything else. But yeah, 2 Olympic insignias. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Once again, as always, feel free to leave your comments down below. And next time I will be back with film number 27, which I believe is Rubber. Yeah, so I will see you guys next time.